I hate being asked to do things by other people. Is this shirt on backwards? No, it's not. All right.
Welcome back to another episode. That was probably entirely too loud.
It's fine. Do you want to hear what Luke said about my weed laugh the other day?
Sure.
He said he'll be like he'll go, "You're insane." That's what he says to me, and I go, and I was like laughing, and he's like, "No, you're insane," and I'm like, "I'm not insane," and then I went, and he goes, "I'm not insane." See you guys next week. Bye.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
All
Anyway,
right.
what are we doing this
Should I
week,
really
Taylor?
bring it in?
Tell us about it. No, it's in. We've been in.
Okay.
We've been
We came in with my loudness. Okay. So, episode 41, we're here with ODIE. ODIE, not the cartoon dog from Garfield.
All my research, that's
Was-
all it gave me, and I was like,
I typed in Odie and I was like, cool, he has a wiki. And then it popped up with the dog and I was like, this is not what I was looking for.
no, not that.
So I couldn't find his real name.
ODIE.
But, I mean, that might be his real name. I
There's
don't know.
no information on this person anywhere.
He's very new and he started on SoundCloud. But he's 21 years old. He's originally from Toronto, Canada. His parents are both Nigerian. And they came to Canada from Nigeria. He moved to the West Coast when he was 12. He says he's from the Bay Area as well as Toronto. He fell in love with music listening to Confessions by Usher with his sister. And I wrote a little like heart next to that because I have like a vivid memory of me and my best friend in the 3rd grade laying on the floor in our sleeping bags at a slumber party for a girl that we didn't like, but we went to her party anyways because we didn't want to be excluded. And we were both listening to the Confessions by Usher CD, like sharing headphones, just laying on the floor, like in the middle of the party. We just decided we were just gonna go listen to Usher, and I loved that album.
Did you ever do the thing where you had your iPod, but you downloaded songs you didn't like so that you could, like, but like you knew other people liked so that you could share with them?
No.
Did you do that? No.
I did not strive to impress anybody
I did.
when I was a youngin'.
I was trying to find myself. I had a real hard time in middle school. I was on the basketball team. If you can
Me too.
picture us
I tried
playing
out-
sports.
I tried out for the volleyball team in 7th grade, and then I cried when I didn't get on the team because I was like, I'm a loser. And then I realized I don't like volleyball, and I'm also not even a little bit good at it.
That was like the one sport. I played basketball and I played soccer and I played softball. And then I got to high school and I was like, I want to do show choir. And then that's where I stayed. I've stayed in that world.
I
ever since
still played
then.
golf. I always played golf. And then I quit senior year because my coach played favorites, and I was like, this is bullshit. And then I played basketball and I was not good at it. And then I got hurt and was super not good at it. So then I just managed the team. And then I managed baseball to look at the butts.
Nice. I played basketball and we had like a good team and a bad team. And I wasn't like so bad that they put me on the bad team. But I wasn't good enough to play on the good team.
Yeah.
And I would, I'd dribble like this.
All the way up there, yeah.
And they would only like put me in if we were up really a lot, either up by a lot or like so behind that we weren't going to possibly win.
They would only give me the ball if we were super winning.
Mm-hmm.
And then they were like, shoot it. And I'd shoot it and I'd miss every time. I'm pretty sure I only made like 3 baskets in my entire
Like
like
this?
about 4 years of playing basketball. Yeah, totally.
That's how
There's a picture of me in the air and my form is just
I think you've
atrocious.
shared me that.
Yeah.
Also, another fun fact. So I didn't get contacts until I was in the 6th grade. So when I played basketball 5th, 6th, and I think 7th grade. I don't know if I played. I think I might have played.
Me too.
Huh?
With glasses on? Me too.
Sports goggles.
Oh.
I had sports goggles.
I just had metal glasses.
No.
And I would get hit in the face a lot with a ball.
Well,
Have I ever told you about the time I kicked a girl in the head, or kicked a girl in the face during a jump ball?
I'm glad.
There were
glad
like
you did that.
5 people on the ball, and I was one of them, but I was also the smallest in the group. And the girl directly across from me was quite large for our age. And I was like, well, fuck it. And I just grabbed onto the ball and flung my feet into the air and totally kicked her right in the face. And then we got the jump ball.
Nice.
It was good. I liked it a lot.
Maybe aggressive.
Maybe we should talk about this.
Maybe. So.
He started playing piano when he was 10, and he didn't want to, but his mom made him. He wrote this little thing in an interview that I read. He said, in high school, a friend was writing music our sophomore year. He needed help with the song, and I helped. And he's like, come over and record it. That's when I started downloading YouTube beats, started writing my own music. I don't like the way this is written. Anyways, one of my good friends, Chris, heard a song I recorded, and he was like, yo, this is really good. And I was like, oh, thank you. But he was like, no, this is really good. You should release this. Me, Chris, and Jakob have spent the last 4 years just working to create a new sound. So that's how we started, like, making music for SoundCloud. He's inspired by Michael Jackson, Usher, and Kid Cudi, and you can super hear Kid Cudi. Like, they have these... I was showing this guy to Evan last weekend, and I said, I found this guy. He sounds just like Kid Cudi. Mm-hmm. And I played Story, and he was like, yeah, I can hear it. And then I played a couple Kid Cudi songs. We had a moment, like Evan and I were jamming in the car. We're like, man, I feel like I'm back in the 8th grade. And then I played, I think, Bliss City, or maybe In My Head. In My Head. Sorry. And Evan was like, I don't remember the song. I was like, well, that's because it's not Kid Cudi. He goes, oh, I thought this was still Kid Cudi. And I was like, yeah, I know. He sounds just like Kid Cudi. It's so weird. I don't know. It really weirds me out, but I like it a lot. He has 761.5 monthly, 5,000 monthly listeners on Spotify.
761.5. 761 and a half.
One half of a person listens to him. That's me. There he is.
We together are one person. We each are a half of a human being, and together we make one barely functioning person.
And our name is Music Monday.
I think if we became a person as one, I feel like our name would be like Bar Brian. Ba Brian. So sorry for everyone we just blasted.
He has roughly almost 33,000 followers on Spotify as well. I found him by listening to Still Woozy.
Oh yeah, you showed me him.
Yeah, he's cool.
Yeah, he's cool.
EQ. He is on one of Still Woozy's songs, so that's how I found him, and I think he's cool. This album is called Analog. It was released on April 6th, 2018. Almost happy birthday to me.
Almost happy birthday.
The album was featured on the top 10 Bay Area albums of 2018 list. So, I don't know how esteemed that list is, but I put it on here anyways.
It's a list. You made a list.
You made a list.
And it's not a bad list, yeah. So like... Could
Our
be like
podcast is probably
10.
on the list of like top 10 worst podcasts.
Top 10 things to not listen to. Number 1, Music
Monday.
Mondays with Taylor and Leah.
Numbers 1 through 10, Music Monday.
Things that you should never, ever, ever, ever encounter.
This podcast.
Or us. Just don't. I hope
just
you
avoid
never,
us in general.
I
We don't
hope
like
you
to be
never have
touched.
bump it. Oh my god. I hope nobody ever has to bump into us, and I also hope that nobody ever touches me again.
I think I've told this story on the podcast before, but we are known as a single unit at this point.
Yes.
Somebody asked me once, I ran into them on the street, and they were like, "Where's Leah?" And I was like, "It's a Tuesday at 3 p.m. I don't fucking know."
Probably
She
doing
could be
something else.
Anywhere.
Yeah, I could be anywhere. I could be in your house. No, I'm just gonna.
People just expect us to be together.
But yeah, like every time they're like, "Oh, it's like, well, we're not. We don't like live. We're not like when Squid."
You know when Squid.
Deep breath. You know when Squidward in SpongeBob? He's like, we're closer than that. We're brothers. And he lifts up and it's like, bom, 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 bom. And there's like a connection. That's us.
Yeah. That is us.
But yeah, today on the like, okay. So like, as a highly anxious person, Taylor also is a highly anxious person. Mm-hmm. People touching you, like if you have like...
Just don't get in my face.
If you have like really strong anxiety, like you probably understand, like people touching you is just way too much to handle.
I need to be at least this distance from people at all times.
Yeah.
Like that guy's butt was here
yes.
to you.
Yes.
And you were like...
Yes. I was like, hold my coffee, and I like made her hold my coffee, and then the bus stops, and I was like, choom, off the bus I went, and I was like,
I had my, how was I holding it? I had my phone and coffee like this,
yeah,
and then I had
like,
her coffee in this hand, and I got off the bus like this.
Yeah. But yeah, if anybody, like I was in line for Starbucks like last week, and this person bumped into me like 3 times, and I literally had tears in my eyes, and I was just like, I think if you touch me again, I'm going to scream at the top of my lungs. Like, just, if I don't know you, there's no reason for you to be within 2 feet of me.
No.
Like,
leave me be.
No reason. But that's all. That's my name's Leah, and that's my story. I don't like to be touched, ever. And even if I do know you, there are some times when I'm like, don't be in my space. Speaking of, do you want to hear a story? This is story time. We don't know anything about this album, so I'm just going to go off on this story time.
I really like it.
Okay. Go on.
But you can tell your story. And then we'll talk about the album.
Yeah. I was just like, we don't know a lot about this guy.
No,
like,
we don't know a lot about
him. There's not any information anywhere. But, okay, so I auditioned for this show, for this workshop, and it's like movement based. We had to do like a lot of like movement exercises, and there was one where we're like, okay, we're gonna fight each other in slow motion, but no contact allowed. Like, the theater department is very big about like consent enthusiastically all the time, constantly, no contact unless it's specified specifically that it's happening. And so they were like, do not touch each other, whatever, like just do not do it. And so I was with this super weird dude who like would be like, psh, psh, and he would like come at me really fast, and then he would like hit me, like he was like hitting me. And I literally went like this, and I said, reset. And I was like, get away from me. Like, we're not supposed to be touching each other. And he would like come in real slow, get really close to my face, and then do it really fast. And I'd be like, and I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What are you doing? Like, I've never met you until right now, and you're doing this? He didn't get cast, I don't think. So, that's good. But, no, sorry, that's my sidebar.
That's okay.
But that was, like, I was freaking out, because I'm like, don't touch me. And he had me, like, it was supposed to be like we were fighting each other, and like the movement was like paying attention to each other and like moving back and forth. No, he was like, I want to get this girl on the ground, and I want to beat the shit out of her. That was like his goal.
That's my goal
yeah.
for myself.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I look in the mirror and I'm like, wow, I wish I could beat myself up.
Yeah, me too. But like, it was like he wouldn't, like, I would like react and like fall to the ground or like whatever, and then I would try to like come back, and he would be like, not letting you, not letting you, not letting you. And like the director multiple times was like, no contact, and he would not stop.
That's weird.
That's it. That's my story.
Cool. Good story.
Don't touch me ever.
My favorite song off the album is In My Head. It's the 7th track on the album. It's a kind of a tie between In My Head and Story. I don't like the song North Face because it's about having a job at North Face, which I know it's more than that, but that's all I get out of it.
Yeah.
Let me see what He explains his infatuation with a beautiful face that breaks his daydream whilst working at the North Face. Yeah.
Whilst.
So he sees a attractive human while working at the North Face, and he wrote a song about it. Which, he's 21. What else do you have to write about? Right now, my experience would be like, I have a fake plan on my table.
I killed my string of pearls on accident.
Yeah. But I really like the sound of this album, which I'm a Kid Cudi fan. The OG Kid Cudi shit. Like, Kids See Ghosts, no thanks.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like the sound, and I like the coming-of-age feel of the album.
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, it kind of is a coming-of-age album, and I think it's really good. And he describes himself as an analog artist in a digital age, and I think that's kind of fun.
Yeah. I actually really liked this album.
Yeah.
Surprisingly. I didn't think I was going to. Like, when I first started listening to it, I was like, oh, well, this is fine. I actually really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think it's really, really good.
Mm-hmm. My favorite song was Phenomenon. The opening of that song reminds me of the opening of May I Have This Dance by Francis and the Lights.
I don't know.
Like that do 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 do. I'll play it for you and you'll realize it. But yeah, that's what it reminded me of, and I really liked it. But I think he has he's a pretty decent lyricist, he has a nice voice.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Very pleasant to listen to.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's some of my issue with like some rappers. I'm like, your voice is like nails on chalkboard for me.
Yeah, he's not he doesn't use autotune. He doesn't change his voice for the song. It's just his true voice, and I think that he would be a really good live artist. I'd really like to see him and Still Woozy together. I think that would be a good group, and maybe Cautious Clay too.
He'd be fun to see in like a really little venue.
Yeah, like a Egyptian room type deal. He has a couple of music videos that are cool. Yeah, I don't know. And I like that he's not one of those people who's like, I had no idea I sounded like Kid Cudi. He's like, no, I'm super influenced by him. And, like, I realize that I sound like him and I take a lot of inspiration from him, but I am my own artist. And he's like, and I hold myself to a standard for myself so that I don't fall into a pattern of sounding like other people.
Or talking to you, Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah. We need to drop our vendetta with them, but it's so hard.
I'm mad at them. I'm very mad at them. They came on my Discover Weekly, and I've never felt more betrayed by Spotify.
Yeah.
Also, it's another sidebar that's not relevant to anything. I was listening to, so I have like my classics playlist, and like, you know, you can go to like playlist radio. I went to that. I was on it, and it was like, you know, all the 70s, 80s stuff, and then it'd be like a Killers song, and like they kept sneaking the Killers in there. And I was like, why is the Killers in here?
Yeah, that's weird. Vampire Weekend announced their album release date, May 3rd. They also put out 2 new songs, and one of them has Steve Lacy on it. I'm obsessed with Steve Lacy. We need to talk about him soon. Does he have he put out a demo in 2017. We'll have to talk about that sometime, because his voice is so beautiful. And like I said, he's from the group The Internet, but he's been branching out and working with a lot of other people. But Cage the Elephant put out new music this week.
Jeez, I had no idea.
Who else? Foles, Black Keys put out new music this week. Billie Eilish put out a new song that's super controversial. Khalid put out another song. Maren Morris. I'm a big fan of Maren Morris because she can do any genre. She can turn on her twang for country. She can turn on her pop for pop. Like, she can do anything. And I saw an article about her, and she was like, yeah, I'm cool with whatever. Like, I don't care about what genre or which community I'm popular in. As long as I am making what I want to make, I'm cool being whatever.
Remember when we were like, when Casey Musgraves got Album of the Year, and we were like, what? I'm not saying that I like it, but I understand why now.
Oh, it's good.
Yeah. I get it. Because I was like, how in the world? It's like, okay, Leah, just because you've never, like, listened to this doesn't mean it's not wildly popular. Because it absolutely is. And it is pretty good.
It's country pop.
I wouldn't listen to it.
It's good. Was it better than other people that were nominated?
No.
Still a question mark for me.
No, it wasn't. But it's like, I'm less shocked at why it happened.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
After
because I was like, this person came out of nowhere and just jacked Album of the Year, but I'm like, okay, like it makes a little more sense to me why that would have done that. I don't think it deserved it, but I'm like, okay, I guess I have a little more understanding.
I think it was deserving of a nomination. I'm not sure if it was deserving of a win.
Yeah, I agree.
So, do you have anything else to say about ODIE?
No, I like him.
Yeah, I think he's super, super cool. I think he has the potential to become very famous. I think that he is making the music that we all wish Kid Cudi was still putting out. And I think that, I don't think you listened to Kid Cudi in your preteen years.
No.
But I listened to a lot of Kid Cudi in my preteen years. And when we were listening to it this weekend, Evan and I still knew all the lyrics. And I was like, I should not have known these lyrics at 12.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this is not music I should have been belting in my room at 12 years old.
Yeah, sometimes I listen to stuff I listened to when I was like in middle school, and I'm like, no wonder I have
Who let me listen to this?
Where were my parents at?
My parents were like, yeah, listen to whatever music you want. And I'm like, I'm glad that they did.
Yeah, my parents don't care about, I don't want to say they don't care about anything. My parents care about me, but I was not a sheltered child by any means. Like,
my parents were like, yeah, here, listen to music that says weird shit, but like, can't go out with your friends. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. I mean, they were like, you can't go out and raise hell, but like, my dad's advice for me when I came to college, he's like, don't get arrested and don't get pregnant.
Cool. Super low standards.
I'm like, I think I can
handle that, yeah.
I can do that. So,
absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks, Dad.
So, next week, we're going to be talking about the album 333 by Amber Mark. And she has like this really specific sound that I'm really excited to talk about next week.
I like me.
In the meantime, you can talk to us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. You can watch more of our episodes on the YouTubes, Spotify, Anchor, wherever. We're at Music Monday Cast everywhere. We have a Friday Faves playlist. We put up some stuff on there sometimes when I remember.
We're only doing our 2 favorites from each album because it just got too long. So we're not going to do we're not going to do 10 new songs every week anymore.
Which I had no problem with the length of the playlist. I like long, hefty playlists because you're going to get something different every time. But it's so hard to find 4 songs every week that you've not already put on there. Or like, I don't know, the last couple of months I went through a dry spell with music where I was like, I'm not listening to anything new. Mm-hmm. This week I've been listening to a bunch of new shit. But so I could have done it this week. But.
Yeah, my music doesn't refresh itself that often. Like, it doesn't refresh weekly. I don't find 4 new songs every week.
Yeah, it was really easy in the first, 20 weeks because we had our own playlist that we pulled from, but then we kind of exhausted those. And then it relied on us finding new music, and that's kind of hard to do sometimes. So I also put on my Instagram story the other day, I was like, put me on to new music. Not one single person sent me anything. I was like,
I was going to, but I was like, I don't have anything. Yeah. I don't have anything to tell you that you don't already know.
Yeah.
So it's like,
that's okay.
Womp.
But yeah, check in with us next week. Have a musical Monday.
Bye.
Spring break.